And what I've realized is, folks, there's a hostile takeover of our bodies, where most people are being threatened with this hostile takeover. And what do I mean? Well, looking at one of the statistics, arthritis has been on the rise in our country, predicted to be 70 million people, about 1 in 3, in the year 2010. Well, guess what? We've surpassed that number already ahead of schedule. And this is one of the things that you don't want to be ahead of schedule on, is a disease. So we really started noticing there's a hostile takeover of your body. And the whole bottom line of all of it is inflammation. Even in obesity, most people don't realize that it's a disease, and also that it's an inflammatory disease caused by, or it causes inflammation. Fat cells, especially around the abdominal girth, will send out hormones. They're not just little sacks of fat that are storing. They're actually endocrine glands that are secreting chemicals to cause you to, one, create more inflammation, have more joints hurt, aches and pains, so that you don't move as much, so that you gain more. So there's a real hostile takeover of our bodies in many respects, and this hostile takeover is coming from inflammation. So this is what sparked our interest to start moving into the arena of inflammation. Products that we were hearing about with strange names from other countries called acai berry and things of that nature started appearing that had anti-inflammatory properties. And so we looked into the whole arena of things and said, where are people missing some of the ingredients that they need to fight inflammation? Because if you have a good diet, you're doing the right things, you should be able to at least fight back. But so many people have not been able to fight back. The fact is now we're 70 million people who have arthritis, 1 in 3, and that wasn't even predicted to be here till 2010. So something's going on, and it's not good. So we look at, the dietary habits of people, and the USDA came up with a statistic that only 17% of the people eat a fruit. 17%. And we know there are a lot of phytonutrients. Phytonutrients are just basically the good chemicals within the fruits that help them to be usable for you that your body can't manufacture. And we hear things like anti-inflammatory type of thing to fight free radical damage and all that. They're all within the fruits. And the specific thing is the pigment of the fruit. So when you get a dark purple, a red, an orange, they have different pigments or different phytonutrients. And the whole purpose of that is to protect the fruit from the sun. When the sun is blaring down on it, it's a protection of the seed within it. So it puts these dark chemicals to block the sun's effects. Well, it turns out that whoever designed us did a mighty good job, because those same ones work in us. And that's why it's very important to eat, the proper nutrients, fruits, vegetables. With only 17% of the people eating fruits, that really is a good formula for disease if I ever heard one. Now, I'll tell you, it's job security for a physician, but, we don't want it that, but it is job security. If you don't eat your fruits and vegetables, that's quite all right, We have these nice clinics, the doctors like to push things in people, pull things out of them, do all these nice, interesting things. And I want to tell you, the last thing you want to be in medicine is an interesting case. You want to be boring. Not personally boring, medically boring. So anyway, what we did was we looked at what we could do. We add fruits. Think for a second, I'm going to ask you a question. What's the most popular fruit? What's a banana? And if you tell people the big three, it's banana, orange, and apple. And that's what most people think about fruits, when there's so many more out there that have all these wonderful abilities to help us that we're not taking advantage of it, from blueberries to grapes to so many other things. And then we learned about this acai berry that has all these wonderful qualities because it grows high in the trees. The sun is just blasting it, so it has to put down a real thick pigment, which is very, very nutritious for most people to eat this. In fact, many of the natives, what's really amazing, many of the natives in Brazil are so poor that all they can afford to eat is the acai berry. And I know Dr. Carson has interviewed some people who are in their 70s. I think he said even in their 80s that that's all they have ever eaten. So it's amazing that a fruit could sustain life. One of the main things with it, it has protein in it, has fat, carbohydrates, and then all these nutrients. You use a total of 19 fruits in here for flavor and for a variety of different phytonutrients, because it takes many different fruits to give us the nutritional benefits that we need. So we're giving people the anti-inflammatory effects of the juices, which right now we don't even know what to expect in the future with that, because of all this. As research goes along, it's going to uncover more and more things and benefits that you will find from these. There are societies now who are studying nothing more than the anti-inflammatory effects of most of these phytonutrients, and that whole arena is probably going to explode in the next 5 years with knowledge and stuff from areas that we're not even aware of yet, but just from research that's going on internationally, because there's such a big interest in this whole area. And hundreds of articles written on the benefits of fruits. And if you take the acai berry straight off the vine and try to ship it, it will rot on you, because it deteriorates very quickly. And it deteriorates fast, so that you start losing a lot of the benefits that it has. It's something that has to be consumed immediately. Well, down in Brazil and getting it up here is a bit of a hike. And what we've done is we've done our studies and research on the, the freeze-dried part of it, not the berry itself. I mean, we know the berry, but then, once you freeze-dry it, is it still as good? And that's the number one question. That was one of the first questions we had to figure out, and it turns out it is just fine. It doesn't lose anything, and it doesn't rot or deteriorate. So that's the main thing there, is what processing are they using of the berry to get it to market, and has that been studied in terms of its effectiveness? Looking at the USDA recommendation for fruits and vegetables, it's 5 cups a day, or 5 to 9 servings per day of a combination of fruits and vegetables. The average that most people eat are 2.3. So you can see right away we have a problem there. Average 2.3, when you get most of your antioxidants and phytonutrients from your fruits and vegetables, and we're averaging 2.3, and they're saying it should be 5 to 9 servings per day. You can see where the problem comes in, and why we're starting to see diseases like inflammatory diseases like arthritis on the rise faster, because you've got to put in good nutrients into your body, good fuel, so your body can use it. You can't go in French fries and burger doodles and think that you can make it. Now, again, it's job security for a physician, so